Hello my friends, and how are you doing? Today I want to give you a quick update. This is important for every one of you. If you're online, if you use the internet, you are affected by that. Now the quick good news here is that some of these groups that have been banned have been reinstated. But is that good? Does that solve anything? I don't think so. This might even be worse, and this is what I want to talk about today. So let's get started. So the thing here is, this has not just affected Facebook. This also has affected Instagram, it has affected Pinterest, it has affected Tumblr, where mass bans have been going on for accounts, for groups, and all over the place, just random. So what they said is, well, we just tested out a filter. They might have used AI in that filter. They don't really want to say. And here are some of your groups back. Not all of the groups. My group still is banned, for example. Well, my group has been banned for like about 2 weeks, so maybe that's another reason. But still, a lot of the groups are either banned or some of the groups are even deleted. Now, the one question is, where is the responsibility of these companies? Because that's important. They can't just take away the groups, the communities for millions upon millions of users and then say, whoopsie, that just happened. There is some of it back. Also, where's the compensation? Because it takes years of work to build these groups, moderate these groups, interact with them, have interesting activities. All of that is a lot of work, a lot of time invested. Like I said, some of these groups have been deleted. They're gone just because they made a mistake. So that is an overreach. It is a lack of responsibility. And again, where's the compensation? Even if this is not a commercial project, because as I need to remind you, because some people said, oh, but you make money with that. No, most of these groups, including my group, are for free. We don't make any money from that. These are passion projects by people who believe in the stuff they do and want to build communities around that for hundreds of thousands of users. So there is no money. Right? But still, this is a huge impact because a structure has been either destroyed or being taken offline even for a couple of days. This has a major impact. It's a major disturbance. And also, it shows a major force of these companies to do whatever they want, whatever they like, because they could just as well have said, well, it's gone. Sorry, but we don't care. We just take it down. And this is what's happening often. Right? Even on YouTube, for example, I know about YouTubers where YouTube said, oh, you have a technical problem with your channel who has like, let's say 500,000 followers. Well, just start a new channel. That's it. We can't solve the problem because that's this and that reason. Just start a new channel. Most people don't even reach that goal. That's a major achievement to get there. And then they say, well, yeah, your career is gone. We just destroyed your complete business and we don't care and we don't pay you anything for that. We don't take any responsibility. It's just gone. Now, of course, some comments said, well, just use other structures. It's your problem if you're on these pages. But that is not true. That is not the thing. Because if you build any kind of community of that size, you need these structures. There isn't really another way to do that. First of all, because social media is interconnected. So if you just put a website somewhere, getting people there and then getting people talking about that website is a major, major achievement, way, way harder than putting stuff on the internet. But also, if you put stuff on the internet, you still have to work with companies. For example, hosting companies have to be there to host all these thousands upon thousands of images and videos. And then also, where's the cost? Who is paying for that? Because usually these companies like Facebook or YouTube or X, they pay for that with the advertisement they show on the website. But for yourself, you can't just do it like that. Even if you could, where is all the security? For example, hacking for the accounts, for your user data safety, that has to be protected. That is very expensive. To keep that up, you have to basically have someone on staff to keep security for your page. And even if that is not the issue, what about lawsuits? Because any kind of company with enough money or the will and ill intent can just come and say, well, we're going to roll you up in a lawsuit for years to come and we will destroy all the money you have. So there is not really a recourse you can have against that. And boom, again, you are gone. So that is not easy. Of course, you can say then, other comments said, you can go with Tor, you can hide, you can use torrents, you can do this and that. That is not really an alternative to that. Most people don't want to go on the dark net just to share some pictures they like and follow a hobby, but also in a democracy, in the freedom that we are granted by our governments that we have elected, we should not have to hide behind these kind of things. We should not be searching for any kind of shady solutions so that we can just follow our hobbies and interests. Now, you might say, why is all of this interest important? Why? It's just a hobby. And some people in the comments, at least one comment said, hey, it's not a real place. It's just virtual. It's just like fiction, right? That is not the case. This is culture, and culture is a social construct. It is happening in your mind. It doesn't have a place. You are that culture. You are that place. It's within you, but it needs to have a space to connect. And if you connect in your public park, or if you connect through the phone on the internet, doesn't make a difference. It's still culture, and culture that is being destroyed, and culture that is being regulated by the whim of a company. And that is really bad. And the reason why this is especially bad is because this is not just yet another hobby. This is about AI. And even if we like to say, well, AI is just another tool, it is a very powerful tool. It is a tool that will reshape our society and our culture, our industries, and our economy. So this has to be something where we, the people, are involved in that process, because even though it is nice that companies build these AIs and build products around these AIs, which is very much needed because they have the funds to spend hundreds of millions in the research to train and build these models and services, all of that is very needed. But at the end of the day, we are the customer. They are building it for us. We are where the money is coming from. We are the ones who are affected by all these kind of products and services and how culture and society and economy is changing. So we need to have a major say in that. We need to be the president in the development of what is happening, how it is happening, why it's happening. We are the reason, so we need to interact with that. And this is why these communities are so important, because right now in this dramatic change of technological evolution, these are the points. This is the forefront where the cultural evolution is happening, where people learn to understand and work with AI, also identify the strengths and the weaknesses and learn to cope with that. This is really, really important. Otherwise, we're going to be overrolled by AI and just being pressured into a corner by the AI. So us interacting with that, having these massive groups who build a culture around that and create ways to interact with AI is a very important thing. And for companies to just remove that on a whim or a technical error or whatever they think this might have been is completely unacceptable. And it is especially unacceptable in a democracy, in a freedom that we, again, have voted for, that we own, that we have fought for. We own that freedom. So they owe us not just the responsibility to do the good job, but also the compensation when they fail to do a good job and destroy structures and communities and cultures in the process. They can't just do that and say, oh, sorry, and act like nothing happened. So we have to hold them responsible. And this is why I think we need to talk more about this, find better solutions, because these kind of communities, not just for AI, are being destroyed left and right. And I feel a lot of people don't understand how important it is, because they don't see the shift that our culture has done from the real space to the virtual space. The virtual space is now the real space. This is where we happen. This is where our culture is created and born and reshaped and refined so that we understand who we are and we create what we want to be. So to take that away and say, oh, sorry, that's not enough. And that is not the responsibility that this culture is owed. especially because this is global culture, not just something that some kids do on the internet. So let me know what you think in the comments about that. Share that video if you can, because I think it's a really important issue. And thanks for watching. Leave a like. See you soon. Bye.